Hi, my name is Dana St. Clair, and I would like to welcome you to a half an hour of talking about meditation, of actually having the experience of meditation, and talking about the zaniness of being human. If you've watched this show before, you've heard me say the zaniness of being human. You gotta admit, it's a pretty zany gig. I mean, being human could be the most challenging thing that you do with this life. And the next most challenging thing would be if you have children. To be a good and compassionate and nourishing parent. That's like the hugest thing you'll ever do with your life. Which is not to say, I mean, if you choose not to have children, that's great. That's fine. But if you do choose to have children, they deserve to be treated with compassion and kindness and an awareness of who they are as truly miraculous people. Because the truth is, what you see is what you get. What you see in your life, your perceptions of your life make it what it is. And certainly with your children, what you see is what you get. If you see a child who is a troublemaker, what's the matter with this kid? Then sure enough, here comes trouble. And if you see a child as a truly amazing and unique human being, then prepare yourself to be amazed. When I was growing up, and I've come to realize this as one of the true gifts of this life for me, when I was growing up, there was a voice in my head that said, remember what this feels like. Remember what this feels like. And then as I got into my teens, I guess just in case I was like going to miss the message, it got more specific, and this voice said, remember what this feels like because you're going to be on the other side of it. And so in conflicts and confrontations with my parents, as I was going through my teen years, there was always the voice that said, remember what this feels like because you're going to be on the other side of it. At this time in my life, I am the parent of teenagers. And my children and I have had a wonderful time together since the get-go. And part of that is because I have always seen them as the truly amazing and miraculous human beings that they are. When my son was little, and people would dress their little boys in shirts that says, "Here comes trouble," I found a shirt for my son that said, inside this shirt is one terrific kid. And it's true. It's true. But when things are going well, when children are young, you can't help but think, ah yes, but what of the dread teenage years? What I have found being a parent of teenagers and interacting with other parents of other teenagers, teenagers are frequently viewed as persons of suspect. Teenagers, just for being teenagers, are viewed with contempt. All right, I know you're doing something wrong. All right, I know you're going to make a problem here. I know there's a problem. You've been out too late. Da 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 da. It goes on and on and on, and the teenager thinks, hey, you want a problem? I can be a problem. You bet, because it's what you expect. The thing that is a real mystery to me is this incredible gulf, seemingly, between teenagers and adults. You would think that a lot of parents had never been teenagers. Well, you know, we all know that you don't get to parenthood, you don't get to adult land without having gone through teenage land. But you would think that parents had not been teenagers, or else they remember the experience with such contempt or nervousness or off-centeredness that they can't just say, I remember what that was like. Oh, yeah, boy, I did that too. Pretty crazy, huh? And at the same time, you would think that teenagers are not rushing headlong into adulthood, which in fact, they are. So wouldn't it be nice if adults and teenagers could communicate with each other in such a way that there is more of a compassion, more of an understanding on both sides? It isn't just the teenagers being a mess. It isn't just the adults being harsh and ridiculous. It's both. It's both. And the coming to a point of balance is a responsibility on both sides. Relationship in general is one of the hugest and most important factors of being human. And you know, you hear things over and over and over again, and they become cliche, and yet they're really true. And the one that I'm thinking of right now is do unto others. Treat others as you would like for them to treat you. And this is certainly true, teenager to parent, parent to teenager. You know, we're all in this together. A lot of struggle between parents and teens has to do with the teenager contributing at home. You know, cleaning up after dinner, doing the dishes, helping with the vacuuming, all the myriad chores that need to go on for a household to run smoothly. There's a dance for you, working it out so that the teenager sees the contribution, so that it is met with appreciation rather than criticism. It's so easy, you know, if a kid is cleaning up his room, it's so easy to go in and sure, most of it's looking pretty good, but okay, there's the problem there, that's out of place and you didn't do that right. And that's what we tend to focus on, all the things that were wrong. Now this tends to be true in life and in relationship in general. And it's an interesting one to look at and to see if there are places in yourself that you want to change. See if there are ways of reacting and relating to your world that you now want to take responsibility for and change. I find one of the true gifts of meditation is taking the time on a regular basis to sit and be quiet in yourself, to sit and find a sense of peace with yourself. Now the truth is, you are the only person who can give yourself the gift of meditation. Meditation is not what you think, and that can be taken both ways. Meditation is not what you think, i.e. you don't think yourself into meditation. Your thinkery and your spiritual body, where you meditate in all of yourself, are two different aspects of yourself. So if you read books about meditation, if you hear lectures about meditation, that gives you some idea of what it's about. But it's not the experience of meditation, which is a totally different thing. It's like when you have a friend who is pregnant. You know, she can read all the books there are about parenting, about raising children, about children life, what it's like. Not a clue. Not a clue. Because reading about being a parent and being a parent are two different things. It's like when you look at a map and you see, okay, well this red line goes from here to here and I'm gonna drive from Portland to Salem, but I think I'll take the long way through Silverton just, you know, for the scenery and all. Well, you figure it out on the map, but then you have the experience of the trip. Two totally different things. And all those lines written on that piece of paper, which indeed get you from Portland to Silverton to Salem, All those lines give you a clue, give you hints, give you a degree of guidance, but they are not the experience of traveling those roads that the red lines represent. Well, it's very much the same for meditation. You can read about meditation, you can think about meditation, but that is not the experience of meditating. So for the next few minutes that we share together, I would like to share with you an experience of meditation. And I would suggest to you that you close your eyes, because it does bring you into a deeper, more quiet place within yourself. If it's your choice to leave your eyes open, that's fine too. But as much as possible, follow the suggestions that I give. Allow my words and the tones of the gongs to guide you through the next few minutes. And allow yourself to have an experience of meditation. So if you'll close your eyes, just allow the tones of the gongs to take you to a deeper, more peaceful place within yourself. As you are settling into this place of peace, allow your attention to focus in the very center of your heart. And focused in the center of your heart, become aware of your breathing. And make the conscious choice to breathe slowly, deeply, mindfully. Feel your heart opening. Feel your mind opening. Now you may find as you sit to meditate an increased chatter, an increased overthink. Be patient, be gentle yet firm. You are not sitting here to be within your overthink. You are sitting here to be within a place of peace within yourself. So every time you find your mind taking you out of this moment, taking you out of here and now, gently yet firmly bring yourself back to your breath. No judgment. Just bring yourself back to your breath and back to the center of your heart. And allow yourself to settle into this place of peace that is in you also. It's so easy for us to be aware of the frustration, the anxiety, the busyness, the doubt, the fear, the pain. For these next few moments, make the conscious choice to experience the places in yourself that are you in peace. that are you in self-kindness. Experience the places in you that are fulfillment, that are clarity, that are joy. Open to your greater self, your greater awareness, that which is above you and that which is within you. For the next few moments, I will sound the gongs, and simply allow yourself to be in a quiet, open place, open to you, open to your inner guidance, your higher knowing. And recognize that the light within you, your inner light, and your higher light are not two lights, but one. Make the conscious choice to pour this sense of peace throughout your mental self. Make the choice to pour this sense of peace throughout your emotional self. Your choice. Your choice. And allow your physical body to become filled with this peace. And experience yourself integrating mentally, emotionally, and physically. Experience yourself standing within your own knowing, within your clarity, within your certainty. And see different people in your life that you may have some conflict with. And sitting within this place of peace within yourself, sense or visualize the place of peace that is within this other person as well. And acknowledge that that is what you want to strengthen. That is what you want to relate to, is the place of peace within yourself and the place of peace within others. As we come to the close of the meditation, let us consciously feel ourselves filled with peace, with compassion and understanding. And let us release this peace, compassion, and understanding out into the consciousness of humanity, out into our planetary life. For every time you meditate, you generate benefit and blessing for all of humankind and for all of the planetary life. I will sound the gongs, drawing the meditation to a close. When it is comfortable for you, you may open your eyes. One of the true gifts of meditation is giving you an opportunity to come to a place in yourself where you are more accepting of yourself exactly the way you are. Of coming to a place in yourself where you can treat yourself with kindness and with compassion. And what I have found is the more accepting I am of myself, the more accepting I am of other people. I can look at someone else and feel compassion for their state. A lot of times the people in your life who are the most difficult to deal with are having a pretty difficult time within themselves as well. Because people who find that it's important to criticize live in a place within themselves where they are very self-critical. So it's an interesting thing to remember when you're dealing with someone who is difficult to relate to, that difficulty a lot of times is generating inside of them. It's fascinating being human. I mean, you probably found when you went into your emotional body that there's just so much going on in there. We live within this paradox. We live within this duality. If you were able, and this is an incredible exercise, it's an incredible exercise and I recommend it. It may drive you crazy, but just try. And that is, as you move through your day, be aware of your emotional state. Now, if you can, if your life allows such, you could have a piece of paper on a clipboard or a little checklist or something, and it could be 8:05. I'm feeling pretty good. I enjoyed brushing my teeth this morning and everything is fine. You could get in your car, you're driving down the road, 8:10. I am furious. I can't believe that guy cut me off. Oh my God, now I'm going to be late for work. 9:30. Well, that meeting went pretty well after all, and I'm feeling pretty confident and certain of myself. 9:45. Here I am tearing my hair out. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And to do this without judgment, not to be harsh on yourself, not to tell yourself, now see, I knew you were really a mess, but for your own information, for your own experience of yourself, of your life. What is this life about? One of the things that I feel we are becoming increasingly aware of is that this awareness of ourselves as spiritual beings, this consciousness that seems to be missing from our conscious awareness of self, is making more and more noise so that we'll begin to notice it. It's important. It's important to understand more about who you are, what you do, and why. Now, we are physical, emotional, mental, spiritual instruments. And yet, don't you find sometimes that you might think about something one way and emotionally feel about it some totally other way, and then act on it in a third way, and then when you're talking to someone about it later, you tell it in a totally different way. We tend to be pretty fragmented and scattered. And one of the gifts of meditation is integration. Being able to integrate your spiritual self with your mental self. Integrate your mental, emotional, physical self so that you are moving in one direction at the same time. So that you are thinking, feeling, and acting in an integrated way with integrity. There are so many blessings about being human. And you know, you're going to go out of this life and you're going to look back and you're going to say, well, darn, I meant to be happy. I meant to be happy there. Well, gee. You can make the choice. Make the choice to be happy now. Years ago, I lived in a Tibetan Buddhist monastery in Berkeley, California. I lived there for several months, and the only thing that I consciously remember is something that the Rinpoche said the very first day I was there. And he said, the only difference between an enlightened person and an unenlightened person is a sense of satisfaction. And that is the only difference. And we move through our lives so aware of our dissatisfaction, so aware of what is wrong. With our primary partner, we focus on what's not there. We focus on the lack. We focus on how it's not working out wonderfully. With our children, we focus on what's not going right. Well, make the conscious choice within yourself to look for satisfaction, look for fulfillment, look for joy. Accentuate the positive. Sure, that's been said before, but it can stand to be said again. Accentuate the positive. Make the choice in your life. Make the choice to be happy. Thank you very much for joining me today. And I will play the gongs as the show ends. And you can just sit and relax and feel the blessings in your life and the many and varied forms through which blessing expresses. Thank you.